Okay, so I don't feel like I can really show you a lot of scenery right now.
We can actually. Look at my picture.
So the scenery that I'm seeing is traffic. And it's kind of scary traffic, and we've got some really interesting crosswinds. Yeah, I'm showing you, honey. I'm showing you as best I can. I just can't look at the camera. I can only hold it. On our way through to Florida, he said the reason they legalized marijuana in Colorado was so that people could get through the commute to and from Denver without killing people. Road rage, I guess. So, yes, the main thing I'm noticing right now about Colorado is the traffic. That always gets me when we get into these farming areas, the thing is, I don't see any watering pivots. I don't see any watering pivots. So how do you guys water your crops here? I really need to pee like a racehorse, but they don't have public bathrooms, so that's why I'm drinking another pop, because I'm smart like that. We have about 2.5 hours left. I see that I'm driving for about 45 minutes and then stopping, and then 45 minutes and then stopping. We're at our 14, maybe 16 hours of driving between the 2 days at this point. Beautiful town. I love it when everybody wears cowboy boots. Super, super cute. I really do think it's all in how you decorate it. Okay guys, so I'm going to do a little bit of a cliff notes on this house. It is a much more modern take on small houses. Again, it's almost exactly the same square feet as the last one, and almost exactly the square footage as the house we're going to in Oklahoma. This one is a very open floor plan, completely open floor plan. The only thing that isn't open is the bathroom. In the last house, it had the living room and dining room were open. Everything else was closed off and very private. Would be, you know, a fun little bungalow to take a vacation in. And there's more space because you have bigger couches, bigger windows, all that. Is good for a party house, not so great for one you actually want to live in. And it turns out we slept on this wrong. You're supposed to sleep on a foot to head, not head to foot, head to foot, head to foot, because it was quite short. But we all three fit, and it hides up very nicely. So I would like to say what I've noticed about tiny houses that were built as standard homes 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. A lot of homes, most homes were very small at the time, and so everything was built around a central theme, which would generally be the kitchen or the dining room, but everything else had doors and was closed off, and they were small spaces, but they were tidy, they were well shaped, and they gave you privacy. In the new tiny houses, it seems like you're just trying to fit too much in, and you're trying to make it look more spacious rather than acknowledging it's a tiny house. Let's just scale everything down. And so on this one, that's what I've noticed, is big open space, but not as much useful space. This space is not as day-to-day user-friendly as an old house would have been designed. So that's outside spaces make a tiny house livable. I love the porch. And every time we stay at a tiny house and the girls are able to go fishing, they love it. So this is a private lake. The really shallow steps and the incremental downshift of the house, I'll see if I can show it to you a little better, is unnerving, actually. It makes me feel like I'm going to trip. So, the house descends one step, one step. So here's the first step, and it makes me feel like it's an optical illusion, and it's hard to remember. That was a very large step that was awkward to get down, and now here we have two very small steps that make me feel like I'm going to fall. So this is a home-cured bacon that we picked up in Grainland, or is it Grainfield? Grainfield, Kansas. And speaking of home-cured bacon, if you guys haven't checked out Lumnah Acres, L-U-M-N-A-H, Lumnah Acres lately, they just put in their summer kitchen, and they just butchered some pigs at home, and they're home curing, and those are some amazing videos you should check out if you're interested in home curing. My girl loves to fish. I just haven't told her yet that it's catch and release only. She is a really good fish cleaner. So pretty out here. Are you successful?
Not yet. Do you want to look?
Did you find a minnow?
Yes, I found a whole bunch.
Good girl. Don't wait. Let me be behind you when you flick it.
So, open it with the cracks. And you'll be able to see them.
Oh, I can't see.
There they are. I see them.
Can you see them?
Yeah. Come right here. Come right here.
I think I can see them. Maybe I can't see them.
See them? See them? See? They are so tiny and cute.
Yeah. I'd kind of rather you stay close.
Why?
Because I don't want to have to swim out and get you.
Oh, with us.
So, beautiful day. The girls are having fun while I'm trying to get videos edited, which is pretty much how it always is. I'm glad they're having fun. No, you need... So there's the super cute little house, cute on the inside, cute on the outside. The design on the inside would make it more livable if it was in small spaces instead of one big open space, but it is definitely cute. I love the porch on the back. That was my favorite part. And the scenery around your little house makes a huge difference, so make sure to choose carefully. All you have to do is shut the door and it locks itself. Yep. Okay, we are about to head out. Mom is a little bit cranky right now. Probably a side effect of too much caffeine. I don't have a video up yet, and that always makes me cranky in the morning. But the girls have had super fun today, right?
Yeah.
And I've only just barely started to be cranky, right? I've been pretty nice the rest of the day. Huh, what did Mom get cranky about this time? Lots of noise while Mom's trying to film. So one of the side not so funs of filming your whole life is that Mom gets cranky and you're not allowed to have fun. Huh?
Yeah.
No fun allowed. I'm sorry for being cranky. Hello, hello. So I'm trying to show a little bit of Kansas. I can't really see what you guys can see, so I'm doing my best. More rolling hills with a lot more trees. And I wanted to talk about why we do the minimalist thing. The smaller, not tiny house, but small house seems so nice. And it's that people were not meant to be mushrooms. I feel like sometimes we use our big houses as surrogate caves, except caves are open air and sensual. You have senses in a cave. There's moisture, there's water, there's noise, there's cold. But in our caves, we have it so thermostatically perfect that I feel like we really are turning into mushrooms. That, and we have so much space to store things in. And so we start to build this world inside this cave. And a lot of what's in this cave with us, we don't care about, or we hate, or we don't like, or we just don't love it. And I think it encapsulates us from the things we really care about. If you've ever heard about the KonMari method, the spark joy, the magic of the life-changing magic of tidying up, what it is really about isn't about things being clean. What it is about surrounding yourself only with things that you care about, things that push you to do the things you love, things that push you to be truly alive, rather than being buffered and cluttered by things that we have to take care of. Along that line, I think you should have as little laundry as possible, as few clothes as possible. Only own clothes that you love to wear. My favorite thing in the world to do is wear clothes out, wear them till they have holes in them, and then I put them in my compost pile, in my hotbeds, and I let them grow food for me. And the same thing goes for any other belongings. How much time do we spend on laundry that we don't like? How much time do we spend wearing clothes that we don't like? How much time do we spend sitting on furniture that we don't like? How much time do we spend watching shows that we don't like? And I think by having such large caves, we foster that behavior. Whereas if our cave was small, not because it's small, but if it's small, we have to really interact with our belongings and we can really see what we care about. And if we're only surrounded by the things that we care about and that foster our passion, then we will go outside, we'll leave our cave, and we'll go do our passion. I feel like so many of us are dissatisfied with how we feel, how we look, and how we think, that we forget that we can leave our cave and go do something else. And so if I'm surrounded by the things that remind me of what makes me passionate, I'm much more likely to leave my cave and go do what I care about. If you're interested in what makes me think about this, the KonMari method, the life-changing magic of tidying up, and also spark joy, I have the link for the audiobook in the description below. I've listened to it several times now. I suggest it to friends. I have the book. I do like to listen to it on audiobook though, because then I can actually be doing something while listening to the audiobook.
We're stocking up on sugar to keep us hyper and happy.
Hyper and happy. That's what we're aiming for. Hyper and happy.
Gina might want us to go on poles, so
Yeah. Music. So this is a toll road. For those of us who are in the Rocky Mountains, there is no such thing. But
Hi.
I know I've got change, I've just got to get to the right pocket. We're from Idaho, we don't have toll roads. We don't know how to use it.
Very simple. Thank you.
Thank you.
Why did we have to give them money?
Because we got to use the road.
What's
Just
special
hold on a
about...
second, I'm trying to roll the windows.
Hey! What's special about this road?
To keep it maintained in a particular way, and it's a shortcut. Once again, there is the really strange phenomenon that I do not see any apparatus for watering fields. It's like you guys think water just comes from the sky. So I'm about to have a caffeine and sugar-induced heart attack. We're singing lots of really fun songs. We're bouncing around. We just bought more sugar and some water.
Yeah.
But we're a little more awake than we were yesterday. I was trying to avoid caffeine and sugar yesterday, but that was a rough day. So now we've got 2 hours left and I have just given in. As much sugar and caffeine as we can bring on, we're bringing it on. We may not sleep for a week. Well, I may not sleep for a week. They've just had sugar. I've had caffeine. Whew.
Or exact coins. Sorry.
I went in the wrong one again.
like 4 minutes early for Julianne girls to show up, and it's kind of cold out here, but I came out like 7 minutes early, knowing that the GPS was actually pretty accurate on at least time. It's about the only thing she's accurate on, but it works. So now I'm just standing here waiting. Waiting on a woman. Isn't that how that goes? That's a Brad Paisley song. I think that's them. That was an interesting way to come. I guess it was from 11th Street. Well, she missed her bike.
Huh?
She missed her bike.
Yeah, because I've been in the car with sugar in my appetite.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
Together for warmth.
Dad.
It's not.
Knock, knock.
Hi, little one. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Ach.
Ach. Ach you.
Please cover your mouth when you sneeze. I'm in the middle of it.
Hey guys, so we made it.
Yay. Hi. I'm making leaves. Yeah.
Me, Tiny Casa,
here.
you, Tiny Casa. Is that how you say it? Me Casa, Su Casa? So me, Tiny Casa. I can't, my brain's dead. Okay, so there we go, tiny house. I know it looks like there's lumber here, but there was some remodeling that was done before we came last time. And the first thing the little girls wanted to do when they got here was rake leaves. So, we don't get a lot of leaves in Idaho. When things drop, they just kind of spread out to the field. So, just don't hit Mom with the rake, okay? They've had as much sugar as I have, just not as much caffeine. Hold still, little elf. I can't keep you in the shot. So we're here. We have the tiny house behind the bigger house. And John put a sign in the window that makes me feel like we should be accepting packages. I think it just means he needed to make curtains and he couldn't use anything else. Apparently he made curtains. It's a curtain that illuminates because the pillowcases didn't reach that far down. And he was walking around in his underwear as always. So let's watch. Amazing Christmas lights. Nope, nothing. There we go. Okay, there's our yellow and red Christmas lights. So, we're there.
Actually haven't seen it.
Huh?
Actually haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I never turned it on. I think it's the second time I've seen it.
Yeah, the hair's awesome.
Isn't that something?
Mine is dreadlocked from 3 days of having forgotten a brush. We all washed our hair on the trip, but nobody has brushed their hair since we left Idaho.
Yeah.
The dreadlocks are... If we can find the brush. Only if we can find the brush. Because I have no idea where I packed it. I brought the brush, but it's packed in boxes and we didn't want to bring all the boxes in. Because it is a tiny house and John was already fully moved in. And now we're trying to fit our stuff in there too.
Good time.
Good time. Oh yeah. Forgot. Okay. Go check out the t-shirts. They're in the link below. We have to do new hutches and buy livestock for everything. To do the tiny, and this is a tiny space. I should show you guys how tiny it is. So if you want to know if you can do a homestead in a tiny space, a really tiny space, we are about to prove it to you because this is how much space we have. This tiny little piece of lawn here, and then here's the rest of the house. This is how much space we have, guys. That's how much space, and I intend to grow as much food on it as we possibly can while we're here. But this is the space we have. This is it. And we're going to do as much as we can with it. But, sorry, fundraiser, t-shirts to get everything put together so we can show you how to do it. Because starting over on a homestead is always cost prohibitive. It doesn't matter how small the space is. So, I think that's it. They're not used to sugar. It does really bad things to their little systems when they get this much sugar. Yeah, so I love enclosed porches. I love greenhouses for winter. I love children who can't open doors. There we go.